Hey, welcome to Slick Rooster Studio. Today I am working with the Prang Oval-8 Student Scholastic Grade Watercolor Set. This is a set that's kind of near and dear to me. When we were kids, we all had a similar set to this. Uh, we used it in our coloring books, and the pulp craft brown paper just turned into like wet dryer lint. It was just terrible. Um, this is the key. Good quality paper is the key to making this work. This comes with a great brush. It didn't used to. This set used to come with a like a pony or a camel hair brush, and you could sort of get it to come to a point, but it was terrible. Um, this is a great brush. This would cost you $4, $5, $6 in the store, like a Hobby Lobby or something, to get a brush of this quality. It's a nice pointed nylon brush. Uh, it does really well if this is the only brush you have. Now, I work pretty small, or I am working pretty small. Uh, so I think I paid $6 or something like that for this set of oval eights. The only thing I've done to it is I've swapped out the black. I don't like using pure black. A lot of people don't in my palettes, and I do go through a lot of yellow, like a lot of people do. Uh, so all I've done is swap the black out. Now I have two yellows, and I poured water into each one of the wells, and I let it sit for about 4 hours, and that softens um, the paint that's in here. And then I use my palette knife to dig out blobs and chunks of paint and smush it into the lid. I work out a lid. I don't wash my palettes between paintings. I don't do a lot of mixing on my palettes especially when I'm working small. I'd rather mix on the paper. Uh, it gets a little riskier, but I think you get some more energetic colors and mixings in there. Uh, it gets a little challenging when you're trying to do a full flat wash or a gradient or something. But um, yeah, even then, it's I would much rather just have a dirty palette. And when you get mixtures like what you see here in this green, it's a lot easier to just pick that up. Hey, that worked last time really good, so I'm gonna, reuse it and pull in the colors that I think it's gonna take. And there, I've got a nice landscape green, and I didn't have to pull a bunch of new paint in. I'm not wiping a bunch of money away with a wet paper towel. Uh, Although, at this price, it's not a big deal. But it's to me, I save a lot of money on my artist grade palettes by not wiping them out in between paintings. So yeah, I've pulled over blobs of color into the lid. This is violet. This is blue, and on the side here you can see my setup is brown, yellow, green, blue, violet, red, orange, and yellow, which is what I got set up here. So here I've got orange and yellow and brown and then blue. I can get any level of brown out of here, and if I need to, I can add a little green if I need to get like a true raw umber. Um, the blue and the brown make a great black. Um, the blue and the violet make a great ultramarine or even an indanthrone kind of a tone like a PV60. Uh, just out of the box, this is a phthalo-based blue, so you know that's a great blue for a primary. The green is I'm almost certain is a phthalo-based green. The only other pigment that I know of that is that shade is Viridian, and I'm sure they're not using pure Viridian in this set. The violet, I don't use a lot of violet out of the box. It's I don't most of the time this is PV23 or PV3, both of which can be very fugitive. I'd much rather mix my violets from reds and blues. Uh, so at any rate, this is my blue section here. I can go both directions. I can take this color and mix it over here with the green and get some nice darks. You can see I've done that here. Uh, the yellow blob with the green, and I keep some brown over here. You know what? I need some more brown in this section anyway, so I'll show you how easy it is to pull this stuff up when it's been sitting in water. Um, and then, I just smush it in there. You can see how it's kind of like loose taffy when it gets wet like that, which is that's not a consistency you see in a lot of professional grade uh, watercolor paint um, after it's cured. So, you know, that's what you get with cheap paint. But again, like I say, this is a serviceable paint. You can get a lot of great colors out of this. And here, you can see. Wow, did you see the color jump there? This yellow has a lot of surfactant in it, which is like soap. You add soap to water and it'll push everything. And the yellow in these paintings really, or sorry, in this paint set really pushes, which is great. And once you learn how to use it, it's take for example this. Let's expand on this green here. When you add a lot of surfactant like an oxgall, that sort of a thing, into a paint, you take this yellow and we'll charge it. Got some reflection there. We'll charge it into this green, and you see how it's pushing. Um, that's a great effect. You see how it's leaving those spots behind? That's because there's more surfactant in this than there is in the green paint, and so it pushes the green away. And it does that for pretty much every color in here. So they've put some thought into uh, their formulations. Again, it's Prang. It's cheap. It's fun to play with. If I'd have known how to paint, if I'd have known that the paper was the secret when I was a kid, I'd have spent, a little money on some decent paper, and I'd have been making and selling paintings back then rather than a paper route or, mowing lawns or anything else. I would have gone nuts. Of course, we didn't have the internet back then. Uh, so yeah, the marketing angle would have been a little tougher, but it's you can do a lot with this particular set of paints. So enough yammering. I'm gonna paint a little picture for you, and I'll just click over to my top-down view, and we're gonna put some music on and see how it goes. So there you have it. Quick little study of a couple of pairs. Prang Oval-8 watercolors. Uh, yeah, it's a lot of fun to play around with a little set like that. And I varnished it with the Joe Sonia. It's matte varnish polyurethane water based, but it's still got some stink to it. Uh, Prior to varnishing it, I sprayed it with uh, matte fixative. That stops the water based varnish from wiping your watercolors all over the place. And then on the back, just pencil information about the painting and quick varnish over the top of that, kind of keep it from rubbing off and getting on people's fingers. Yeah, into a penny sleeve this goes, and into a folder for selling or for keeping, whatever. But at any rate, you know you can do a lot of stuff with a cheap set of watercolors. Again, the paper is key. Uh, yeah, there's no substitute for good paper. All right, take care. Hope you enjoyed it.